like EO Gaming are going to try and do what they did in the past to Kazna crew here.
This is full autoloader lineup with one light tier 10 AMX 13105. Now that's a clip gun that does quite a lot of damage compared to 1390, but it still reloads like 27 seconds or something, 26, I'm not sure.
Okay, now right interaction, Kazna crew going straight for the hill, EO Gaming spreading out a little bit. We have Zizny on artillery. He is capable of doing a good bit of damage if he's allowed to farm. The M40, M43 has nice splash damage as well. It's going to come down to a lot of shot discipline, gun discipline here. Who can focus targets down first? Dares gets spotted out with Quiet as well. He also spots out Rattlesnake there in the middle. Rattlesnake and Quiet. It looks like they're going to try and focus on the hill climb on Stefan in the Rhine Panzer, and this might go down really quickly. He only takes one shot, and he has the hill dominance already.
This is something we will be talking about, that you can actually climb up with the light, not challenge that much, but these are really nice connections, two of them. Still, Kazna did get the higher ground, and now we need to see what will be the response of EL Gaming. Isne with that arty will not do the best damage, but that arty can still pen. It can still pen if it hits a vulnerable part of the armor.
Kazna crew going for the wraparound here all the way around. If Kazna crew can get really far up here, this gives them a really powerful advantage. Haiba gets himself spotted, goes a bit too far. He's going to carry on there. It's Hardliner that spots him. Fox TS also knows he's there. Diplo and Kaizu are spotted as well. They're going to try and get shots into Hardliner. Haiba is now paused as well. He's in a relatively safe position. Fox TS is getting shot at. Hardliner got hit by artillery. That was the double pincer movement, if you like, of the artillery and the Batchats. But look at this on the other side, Mojo. EL Gaming are immediately reacting to this.
This is a huge problem. Kazna actually might lose a game because of this, because this is very aggressive, but they're stretched all over the map. Look at this. Durs is completely stuck here. These two guys will have it served on a platter. He will not be able to run up because of the guys in the middle, and we will have a bloodbath soon because Kazna will have to choose. They will either push immediately with everything else they have from the tanks on the guys in the middle, or they will pressure the cap and try to cut them off.
First shot going out there, trying to tag Dares. Second shot, third shot coming out. Dares is now down to a one shot. He goes down. Black getting the kill. They know Yizny's in the corner now as well. They can turn and shoot their guns into him. Yizny's going to be telling his team to push or do something quickly. It's not looking good for Kazna crew. They have the advantage here at EL Gaming. Kazna crew trying to try and push through in the middle. Vetso and Kaizu chasing Hardliner. Hardliner can go down here. That's not really a loss for EL Gaming. They need to quickly kill Yizny, or these other tanks of Kazna crew are going to come back and defend the base.
Okay, this is really good now for Kazna because they managed to take the high ground completely and wipe out all the tanks from there. Isna, of course, fell because there is no way for Arty to survive that, and he cannot point-blank one-shoot people anymore. But the fact is now, it's a 5-on-5 game. Kazna is about a couple of hundred HP down, but I would say they have better positions.
Definitely, definitely. Kazna crew with the better map advantage here. They have EL Gaming pinned down into the lower area, and they can only really dance around the hill in the middle here at E4 on Applewell's perch. Kaizu's got himself in a nice gun position here. Haiba has got himself into a really good position at AB5 area, covering the base and catching anyone that goes up that way. If he can get a spot into Nice, he can take him out really quickly. Black and Vetso just proxy spotting each other. Vetso's got himself safe there, and Black tries to push that one. He will lose that fight.
We need to see now, will Kazna be able to place someone on a cap, maybe Stefan, to create a pressure and opening for them. Like Vetso and Black are keeping each other in a stalemate there. That's one-on-one. Then you have people like Nexus, who is, Haiba on the upper part of the map. And he's covering the angles so he can shoot on anyone who is pushing Kaizu, and Diplomat in the middle. The only guy, actually, here who can do any kind of movement and cap pressure is Stefan, because he's a single shooter and he can allow it himself. He's a light tank, and his impact in a battle would be great if he knew that EL Gaming is going to push you, but if EL Gaming is going to stall time, which they can because they're defending, I can see only him going in to do that.
Nice gets spotted there at the top of the base. I was going to say the problem that M1 has right now is he has a dead commander. Kaizu can keep him spotted and keep him lit, and M1 won't even know when he is spotted like that. Nice backs off, but he's able to tell his teammates that someone has vision on that base area, and that's a little bit of information for EL Gaming.
Well, that's going to be only a problem if he doesn't carry a medpack, of course, because after 90 seconds it will be rebooted. But a lot of people playing budgets like to carry something like coffee and repair kit and fire extinguisher.
Stefan going into the camp as predicted, Mojo. That's going to force EL Gaming into think about having to reset that. They have plenty of time to do so, 2 minutes, but Kazna crew could always slide Diplomat off the hill potentially and boost that cap circle. EL Gaming have no idea where Diplomat is. He's providing overwatch for Kaizu and for Vetso at the moment.
I think they can pretty much guess that one guy must cover Kaizu from behind and one guy must be on upper side. And if I was guessing, like they're probably guessing that it's light tank capping. So it's not that hard. Vetso is extracting himself. This is a hint of its own also, because he guesses he can be one of the first targets when they push from that side.
And connection there into Nice, kills his driver as Quiet comes up to support his teammate. Quiet now getting focused out. Brilliant fight here. Diplomat on the hill providing overwatch. Quiet is going to go down here. They tried to push on to Vetso. That really didn't work out well. Diplomat is now spotted. M1 and Rattlesnake trying to get shots into him. That was great covering fire there. Absolutely fantastic.
I can tell you, I remember one game Kazna played against Ding. That Ding was like on 2 or 3 tanks remaining on few HP, and Kazna did a full push thinking they got them, and they got annihilated because it was all Clippers. It's very dangerous to push over the open field there, and Black is gonna be the next victim like this.
Black trying to get a push there onto Vetso, but Vetso has 3 shots available to him. Diplomat still on reload, just kind of baiting out some attention for Black. The cap timer now is down to 30 seconds. There's no one's near a reset. Rattlesnake is having to push through the middle to try and do something nice. He's trying to just take Haiba's attention, but Kaiju's going to be able to get shots to Rattlesnake nice and easily. As long as Kaiju stays safe, Stefan can continue to cap at the moment. We're down to 7 seconds. M1 is throwing caution to the wind to try and get in to get this quick reset. But there is covering fire over there because Vetso is over there to give covering fire as well. They're wasting time shooting here into Kaizu. That's not the threat. The base is going to be capped out. And M1, that's a bit questionable why you stopped to do that there, laddie.
Well, it's not like he had a choice, honestly. Here, the game was pretty much closed already, especially when they chose to push that open side. That is something like a big no-no on Cliff. If you know someone is holding a center, you do not drive there. You do not drive there even in random games, God forbid on Grand Finals.
Yep, indeed, it was nicely done by Vetso. Diplomat, I mean, he got a full clip into him, completely unchallenged. Bit of a debate, to be honest, there, and he took it hook, line, and sinker. And Vetso was then able to skip away freely and then boost the cap on him, Stefan. Nicely done by Kazna crew and not falling for what looked like the kind of bait tactic, if you like, from EO Gaming, saying, you know, come at us, look, we've got another quick lineup for you.
It was really dangerous in one moment. I really expected EL Gaming will actually play it much more aggressive, because once they seen 3 tanks in a back and they knew there is stuck on that corner, they could have dealt with it really elegant, sending only 1 guy below or 2 and not even bothering that much, like taking over more positions before Vetso can come and counter them and proxy them. Like there was so many options they could have done, but they took their sweet time. Then they were chasing RT, then they were doing this. Like at the end of the time, honestly, it would pay more to them to just go away from those positions and center themselves again together, than just split them all over the map.
Yep. Now the teams are going to swap sides. We're going to see Kazna crew on the defense. We're going to see EL Gaming come on the attack. And it's going to be interesting to see how Kazna crew receive this charge, because this is where I think EL Gaming again would go potentially hyper aggressive, and I don't think Kazna crew are going to play into it at all. I really don't think Kazna crew are going to be baited into this. Every time I think Kazna crew are just going to be like, okay guys, let's play it safe, play it calm. Let's not fall into the trap of the EL Gaming do, where the EL Gamer just like constant pressure all the time.
That's why I said it will be really important to see what will happen on Cliff, because if Kazna shook here, maybe lost first game, because of a bit mismatch in timing they had, and they had it in one moment on the map. It could reflect the second game, and if you're down 2-0, that starts a lot of bad memories, sentiments, and kind of things that can actually really tip you off.
Yeah, I think if it goes 2-0 here, Kazna crew...
It's already good for them, even if 1-1, whatever, this is already good. Now they will get a pace, and over, let's say, a lengthy game, they're better team.
I think if it goes 2-0, there's a high potential for yet another 5-0 today.
5-0 hard, but 5-2 as I thought, yes.
Could be. Now, Kazna crew looking very relaxed there. Yisni, as always, with his Sweden flag behind him, ready to go. Vala watching over the shoulders. Now, Cliff, again, it is an interesting map. You have 2 mountains, if you like, or hills in the middle, one with the lighthouse to tend to be the main focal point for the teams to fight around, to hang around on, and that's where the engagement happens. If there is any heavy tanks, they generally only go down the 1-2 line. And look at this, Mojo, EL Gaming taking triple mouse T100 Object 416. Kazna crew, it looks like it's at an IS-3.
No, it's size
and
4.
using
Defender?
a Defender would be interesting. I can bounce a lot of shots.
Well, it's a premium tank, so it's allowed to be used.
Yep.
Also, Defender has a 440 Alpha, which is pretty much the highest of all those lower tiers. It's a tier 8 premium tank, and it's rather good. It's bouncy. It's similar to T10 tier 9, I would say, in those aspects. It just takes a bit to aim with it, but it's Russian style. You can always just, you know, click and hope.
This is interesting from Black. He's doing that climb at the back on his own, yep.
Yeah, that climb is usually done by Bachats. This is the dangerous part because you can actually go down.
Dangerous.
So let's see, will Black do it proper way?
Let's keep the camera on him because this could go so wrong, so wrong. Uh-oh, uh-oh. No, he's done it, he's done it.
Really good.
He's done it. Very nicely done, Black, very nicely done. That is a very difficult climb that can go pear-shaped. I mean, if the camera went off, it would be really funny if it just came up, Black is drowned, or, you know.
Well, the thing, like, Russian light tank is definitely fast one and definitely the lowest one, so low silhouette. But the other ones have better gun depression. So this is something expected. Kazna already knew. They took the middle. Mouses must come from the lower side. Now I'm really looking forward to see how they actually mean to win this, because we've seen attempts similar to this done by Gohard in European season, if you remember. They had 1 or 2 mouses trying to play exactly like this. It didn't work well, I can tell you that.
Yeah, they focused the tanks really quickly. Now, the interesting thing here is how hard are Vetso and Kaizu going to push onto Black. They were both spotted. They know someone is over there, but if they push hard onto him, they can give themselves a really easy wraparound, basically, Kazna crew, and they can just pick their shots on the EL Gaming tanks below them. Okay, EL Gaming are gathered up here, but the danger is that they can get shot at from lots of different avenues here.
Well, Kazna needs to avoid spending too many shells on those mouse tanks. But then again, like, because those Bachats, if they manage to single out someone, they will be deadly completely. Object 416 is taken there because he has high penetration and 320 alpha for a tier 8 tank. So Nice can play it and snipe a bit. And he has heat ammo. That's very important part, so he can pen even higher tier tanks. But Black is rather safe here. There is no one who can really 100% challenge him.
I was going to say, is there any...
Oh, this is a nice angle.
Nice from Diplomat. Vetso, however, gets crossfire there. A Rattlesnake able to get shots into him. And I was going to just ask you, is there any way to get over at Black from the side? There isn't really, is there?
Risky. I mean, easiest would be to go from the other side, but then they would be exposing themselves to the enemy fire. And it's just to chase one light tank. Isn't
Nice
doing
shot.
nice alpha also, that Butcher, that's a good thing. Quiet taking so much damage.
Quiet's tracked, he's going nowhere. He is red tracked, he's repaired it. He's getting shot at like Swiss cheddar right now. They're going through him. He is dead as M1 gets the kill. And there you go, guys. Everyone who says the defender is OP, well, all you need to do is shoot at it with tier 10 tanks.
Still, he did quite a lot of damage. Like, this is what we need to pay attention to. Mouse tanks can have a lot of HP, and that is normal. But if Bachats drop on HP, Kazna can actually allow themselves to rotate more, pressure more, and then when you are stuck only with heavy tanks, what do? You cannot really counter them because you can get shot from so many angles.
Vetso being left at the bottom to keep Black distracted as Kaizu and Stefan are going to collapse onto a Rattlesnake. Dare's coming over as well. Haiba is keeping the rest of the team occupied, and this is going to be really bad. They need to rush Rattlesnake here. They need to make their shots count because already Stefan's not penetrating. He's only penetrated one. Kaizu coming in as well. Guys, you need to start landing these shots and making sure that mouse is blocking a hell of a lot right now.
It's very hard to pen a mouse if he's angered properly, and there is a counter-attack massing up from EL Gaming. I believe only Diplomat will be able to do something about it in this moment because he has a shell.
You actually have a look at Rattlesnake because we can get a viewpoint on him. We'll be able to see how much shots, how much damage he's already blocked in the moment. Diplomat can shoot down on top of him. He's trying to get into that engine deck, but he goes straight for the upper front plate, which is perhaps a better angle. In return, though, Diplomat is hit for 901 in total there. Now Rattlesnake's having to back off. He's down to a two shot at the moment. But look at this, the Kazna crew tanks have taken a beating here. Now they can be bullied by the mouse.
They're rushed by Mouse. That's even worse. Fox TS is going through the middle like a total hero. And Kazna is trying to move away and collide on the tanks that are cut off like Nice, who is tier 8, or M1, who is on lower HP Mouse. And you can see that is their play and that is their only choice. The butchers from EL Gaming are coming from the lower side and trying to cover them.
All the HP still left on the board. Fox TS, I mean, there's a kill now. Stefan gets the kill on M1. Fox TS still has 2.3k. Rattlesnake, 2 more shots and he will down. Hardliner has only 62 health, but in the meanwhile, Yeezney is the only player dead for Kazna Crew. He was in the object. Rattlesnake finally takes down Kaizu. Ders is up above Fox. Fox doesn't really have any shots on Ders, but Ders has to be dangerous with the crossfire. Now Fox is getting shot from front and back. He's about to drop down. He goes down. 2 more tanks on EL Gaming are one-shots. It looks like Kazna Crew are taking control now.
Critical in this kind of play when you have so many slow takes like Mouse tanks is how your butchers are actually cooperating with you and playing nice angle here. Ooh, nice actually double tap on Stefan by EL Gaming. But as I was saying, like the butchers from EL Gaming were running left and right a lot, but with a little effect.
Haiba now using that little bit of HP advantage he has to come in here to get round the back of a Rattlesnake. Ders always has to be careful of Black. Vetso is keeping him spotted, but Black can still find potential angles to sneak out and get shot at his teammates. Hardliner sitting down low there in the back chat, 62 health. I mean, it can still go either way, but I would say the advantage here is with Kazna Crew. They have 3 autoloaders, so that means they can pump out shots in quick succession.
They have the upper ground also, which is critical, and 1k HP advantage. Oh my god, 999 HP taken. Okay, I mean, the next shell should be the last shell. But it did cost Haiba quite a lot.
That's damage that he didn't really want to take. It's nice angling there, but Haiba is able to pick up that kill. Kazna Crew now with the gun advantage. Oh no, sorry, actually no, it's still 4 on 4, but Nice still can't really contribute to the battle. And actually, no, sorry, it's Black that can't contribute to the battle. Nice is actually sitting on the cap circle now. We're down to 56 seconds.
I'm wondering what is Black trying to do. Still proxying and playing out with Vetso, it seems. But Vetso will abandon him because he needs to join his friends. They do need to pressure Nice. They need to monitor these guys down, and then one needs to lean over and shoot from A5 like Inspire did on the grand finals, if you remember.
That's really nice from Vetso actually there to get away from Black. He's unspotted, he's moved away, but Quiet is able to sneak up on Haiba. There was no cover there for Haiba. Ders was trying to get in position to cap the circle, and Kazna are actually throwing this match away. Mojo Ders is trying to suicide rush the cap circle. That was a bit of a bait because now he can be taken out by Hardliner. There's only Diplomat and Vetso left. Vetso's down low, he has multiple shots, but no! Hardliner takes him out. Only Diplomat left, and Kazna, that I don't know what to say about that, to be honest.
This end play was just complete disaster because they were not covering Haiba's back. They didn't really watch how to do it. They didn't watch the lower part from 2-line, and Quiet noticed it, came from his back, and then they just fell like dominoes.
That was insane because Haiba pushed and got himself spotted, so they knew Haiba was up there. They could just send somebody round because I guess they were expecting someone to come from Dersey's side to try and get a shot for Haiba to do the spot. That's pretty much the way that the top base is cleared out. You send someone to AB56 area, someone spots from the middle, or someone just peeks over from AB56 and then the middle shoots. But there was a bit of miscommunication, perhaps a timing issue between the two of them. It seemed a bit rushed.
Interesting that all of these guys are actually trying to back together. If he manages to hit a single blind shot, maybe kill a hardliner, he can actually win the game Diplomat, but it's not going to happen in this game.
Not going to happen. EL Gaming cap out, and we are 1 for 1 here on Cliff. The grudge match still continues, and Kazna haven't really... Well, they salvaged a bit of pride in that first battle, but I mean, 2-0 would have been a much better result.
But Kazna had this game.
They had it,
They
definitely.
had this game, and it's...
in the palm of their hands, and they been...
They were in dire situation in one moment, but they used the movement of their fast tanks very well. They found the weak spots in EL Gaming positions. That was really well done. They managed to get an advantage, to get higher vantage points, and then they just threw it away because in those last critical moments, they simply didn't cover all the angles well enough. That was the main problem, and once first guy fell, they just fell like dominoes because with 4 guys, it's really hard to survive.
The push against the mouse with the 2 back chats, that was there was a lot of shots that should have penned there. There wasn't even a single tracking shot on the mouse.
I cannot say that. Like, it can happen that you cannot pen all the shots on a mouse. But they really actually managed to get out of the situation elegant, because I thought they're in deep trouble in that moment.
Yeah.
Because Bachats from EL Gaming were coming, but they managed to somehow wrestle the other part of the map that was abandoned by Bachats and take out a mouse there. So that was really neatly done for them, and the main problem in the end of the game was because Vetso was still stuck and proxied by Light Tank, and when he wanted to leave, he took a damage in the back. I saw 320, 300 is average of that Light Tank. So he tried to dodge him to fade, that's why he went down.
Down low, yeah.
And he didn't spot anyone actually from the upper side.
And when he came round,
the timing was just correct for EL Gaming.
And then when he came round, he was just immediately taken out by Hardliner because he was a one-shot by that stage. Now we're going to go into Ghost Town. Obviously, we're going to expect to see a couple of Maus. Now, WZ's coming out there and a 113 from Kazna crew. To me, this has Cap 1 written all over it, really, with those 3 tanks. EL Gaming with 2 AMX 50Bs, 2 Maus, WZ, Baby Batcha, and the 113. Quite a flexible lineup there from EL Gaming. It'll be interesting to see what Kazna crew do. Where will they go for Cap number 1? Or will they just kind of hang about and look for a fight?
This is kind of a generic lineup that Kazna actually has, because it allows you to do a lot of things. You can go brawl, you can pressure the 1 cap, or you can go around if you wish. At the moment, EL Gaming with this lineup, I would say the only problem in it, because they had a tier 9 Bachat who sometimes, if it's not really played well, and Black will have to outperform himself with this one, can get in a problem, because one-on-one he cannot win a Bachat that will be in a pack from Kazna. You can already see him on B0, and Kazna is definitely going to press number 1 cap.
Look at this push though from the south area of the map from EL Gaming. Again, EL Gaming going full aggressive. And the danger is if Kazna crew just say, okay guys, let's go into the base, EL Gaming are not really in a position to come back and reset it quickly, although it does look like it's 50Bs, Hardliner and Fox. Yeah, well, Hardliner is 113, Fox can come back. Quiet is with them as well, so actually they can come around. They're going to get a wraparound in Kazna. This could potentially be bad for Kazna, because they're going to be shot at from multiple angles in a couple of seconds.
They're keeping the 50B down so he can get another angle on the ramp, on the 7th position. But the decap, that's the only thing they need to worry about now.
There's the first decap coming in. We're at 20 seconds, nicely shooting through the buildings. Now, not a lot of the buildings are coming down. We're back to 20 seconds. Another reset coming in. That's an HE splash going into the WZs. Rattlesnake now coming in to support Nice. Now, the all-loaders coming in through the back. The Kazna crew tanks trying to hold them up. Black is taking a good bit of damage for that. Kaizu in a T57 heavy trading off there. Yizne seems to be the one that's focusing on at the moment, down to 13 seconds. Another reset comes in on a different tank, and now the WZ's having to pull out the cap circle.
It's going to be interesting here to see what will Stefan do. Black is in a deep problem there because he's on 600 HP. He's a 2-shot for Stefan. There go 1 shot, and he will probably fall as the first victim. And look at this massive push from Kazna coming in from the center death alley.
Black has all his shots, but he doesn't have the HP to trade with it. Fox TS is running away because Diplomat got some nice shots into him. Now look at the fight here on the cap circle. They're trying to surround on Haiba and take him down, but by doing so, they're effectively giving up the rest of their team. Kazna crew are going to just drive away from that and now go into cap 2 and go for a triple cap, because now they can focus into Hardliner, who's in there on his own, take him out, and that's another gun out of the game, as they can also shoot into Quiet in this area.
EL Gaming is getting completely outplayed here because Kazna decided to go with a tactics stick together team. Kaizu needs to have a repair though to repair his Amorek, but still, even like that, he will reload maybe about 50 seconds, which is endurable.
You can see that Diplomat just drops back there so that Ders can go around the corner to try and take the first hit, but instead they still shoot at Diplomat. Yizne trading off with Fox TS, as Fox TS gets then taken down by Stefan. Stefan actually picking up his double kill there after he just killed Black before that as well. Now, trade for trade moment, Rattlesnake still has all the HP. He needs to get involved in the fight, get stuck in the middle of it. Nice, takes out Diplomat. Rattlesnake now coming in, he's going to probably shoot at Vetso right in front of him actually. He misses, no, he's reloading now. Now he comes in for a shot at Vetso, one nice shot. There's now getting shot at the back as well, and actually EL Gaming Mojo are taking control of this fight.
Yeah, nice comeback there, getting Pinster on a Kazna. I was really surprised when I saw Rattlesnake Nice not pushing in actually there, because they have 3 tanks in surrounding, and Kaizu, because of that Amorek, didn't have shells to help them.
Kaizu taking the option to shoot at the tank beside him. Stefan picking up his triple kill. Rattlesnake now going to pressure into Kazna. Hardliner looked like he wanted to come down on top, but no, his teammates get the kill. M1 actually on the double kill. All that's left for Kazna crew is Stefan. He could potentially take out Hardliner, and nice, he's on a reload just now, but Rattlesnake still has a huge amount of HP, and M1 still has a considerable amount of HP as well.
Well, no matter what Stefan does, it will not really work out here because EL Gaming has 4 guns in a game and they're defending. So everything goes for them. Like Stefan would have to kill them all, he cannot cap, they will just come in a group and kill him, and that will be that. I mean, they're trying now.
Someone's going to drive into the build, Hardliner's going to do it, yeah. All they need is one person safe in there, or 2 people safe. I mean, this is...
Why, I don't know.
Putting everyone in. Because Stefan would have to go in and kill them. He can drive into the cap.
I guess they'll just keep a Rattlesnake outside.
That's bold. I mean, Rattlesnake has a lot of HP. Stefan could clip out into him.
Stefan needs 4 shots to kill Rattlesnake. And that
he could only solo cap if they were all stuck in there. I mean, it's what, 2 minutes for a solo cap? That's quite cheeky from EL Gaming to go into that area.
I would still keep at least M1 also out of the cap, out of those buildings. But I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to limit their risk because they do not want to allow Stefan to outspot them because he's a medium, and maybe kill Nice and Hardliner like that, and then try to play his hand against the rest of the guys. So they're exposing the guy with the most HP. And the only thing that can go wrong with them is because if he actually catches Rattlesnake now and manages to clip him and reload, these 3 guys can actually get killed by him.
Yeah, what I was going to say is that potentially if he got a kill on someone, they would have to rush out of that area, because if then he started to cap base 1, he would have a line. If he knew, if he'd been able to proxy them in that area.
Cap is not an option for Stefan.
No, but here's the thing: if he was capping into 1, he would have shots onto that exit area. He could track the first person coming out, keep him tracked because he's got 5 shots, and he wouldn't be able to come out and reset him. That would be hilarious into that match.
That would be very hilarious, but he would actually have to know where they are, which he doesn't. Don't forget that.
Yeah, he's always got a danger of not knowing if they're split up right now, looking for him.
He has no idea where they are. He's trying to see, is he getting spotted? Is he someone watching from this or that angle? And the time is ticking away.
And he has the danger of just driving round the corner blindly into a gun line of 4 tanks. And he finds one already. Oh, nice shot there from Rattlesnake. Stefan missed his shot. The rest of the team know where he is, and they're actually all coming out. Hardliner is already out. The rest of the tanks coming out behind him. Stefan trying to do a bit of damage. A little shake there of the...
They're like a nest of wasps, man.
And yeah, they're out straight away. M1 and Hardliner chasing down after him. M1 misses his shot. Hardliner makes his shot. Stefan's going to turn and run. He's only got 211 health. I think M1's just going to continue to chase him. But this is going to go to EL Gaming. They're going to take the lead 2-1 here. Kazna crew once again are trailing the team that they're playing against. They were trailing Yato until the 3rd map, and now they're trailing EL Gaming.
As I said, like I expect a bit tighter game here, but I still think Kazna can take it 5-3. I don't think they need to take it to tiebreaker like against Yato. They had a lot of time to talk since yesterday and cool down and discuss what to do better. But we can see here in an example, not everything goes as planned for them, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not a must-win match necessarily, because either way, both of the teams are going to be playing on Saturday.
They need to win this because playing NSS is not a good thing for anyone.
Also, I think, like, you know, just to not have people bring it up saying, "Hey, you got beat off EL Gaming again." Remember,
that's even worse.
Guys that
to go in the next match.
You don't want it's the pride thing. You're like, we can't let these guys beat us again, because people are going to bring it up all the time. It's going to be a grand finals fact. Kazna crew have been defeated by EL Gaming at 2 grand finals.
The only thing you can say with certainty is they're facing whoever is second in this group, where Kazna is. It's a group A. They're facing the first team from Group B, which is NSS. Serious. We know that for sure because they already won both of their matches.
And they really want to win this one as well, because then they'll be top of the group, which means they then get to play against Elevate or Team Efficiency next.
Yes.
And that's going to be a much easier match than playing against Not So Serious. Let's actually have a look at damage done there, Mojo, because now we have stats which is really interesting to look at. Stefan coming top damage there, 4.7, really nicely done.
Not only that, he has 3 kills, really good hard carry by him, but just not enough because the group of the main tanks didn't do well enough.
Black, unfortunately, coming out there with less damage. Just damage blocked coming out on top there is the first stat, so a bit confusing there because it looked like they switched the the columns round there. But now into round 2 here. Kazna crew taking 2 T57 heavies. We just saw 50Bs being used. They're being favoured there by EL Gaming. Double mouse each side, well, 113 per side as well. So a little bit of variation in the teams, but each team kind of taking the same kind of core lineup as well. Autoloaders, 2 heavies and a 113. Bit more rotational than the armor and the HP of the double mouse.
Well, 57s, when you take them, you know what's up. You want to brawl with someone, you want close and personal game, because 57 is not that maneuverable. But 50B, when people play them, they play them because you can rotate the map almost like with a mini.
Now, how we're going to do is Vetzel going straight to the cap circle. He's going to start driving over some buildings, flattening stuff out. Fight straight away in Death Alley. Kazna crew not holding out at all. Haiba taking a big chunk of damage there. He spots out pretty much all of EL Gaming other than the 2 mouse that are hiding back. They're pushing in again. Stefan being focused here. T57 heavy. A lot of damage going to him. A lot of damage going to Quiet as a trader. The all traders right now. The autoloaders, sorry. They do not have the heavies in position right now at the moment. It's very strange to see this. Mouse not fighting in this area and instead autoloaders fighting in this area.
Well, Kazna has much more mobile setup there and they managed to take the high ground, so they are trying to make the pressure. But again, Kazna has a tank away. That's Vetso, and he will be heavily pressured when these guys go to the reload.
Using the is spotted, he's sneaking round the back to try and get some crossfire shots. Now Rattlesnake is leading the charge and his mouse coming in to try and shore up his team defence, which are taking a beating right now from Kazna. Nice is being focused at the moment. Rattlesnake still has all his HP. Vetso is nearly dropped. He goes down first. First blood in this round to EL Gaming. EL Gaming, however, have lost a chunk of health. Rattlesnake now gets a kill on Stefan. Kazna crew have lost 2 tanks. They really need to rally the troops because they need to get Diplomat and Dares in this fight.
The second role Kazna is kind of losing because EL Gaming still has 7 guns in the game. They might drop 1 or 2 now, but Kazna will lose Kaiser soon and Haiba, and what then?
Haiba surviving on a sliver of health at 17 HP. Kaizu is a one-shot. Dares is now getting shot at the moment as well. Kazna crew down to 4 guns. EL Gaming have now lost Fox TS. They've lost an autoloader, but they still have 6 guns available to them. 2 Mouse for the HP. Hardliner 113. Quiet and the autoloader is clipping out. He has 1 more shot left to go. M1 is still being able to do damage, as is Black on 15 HP. But look at this. 2 more tanks get dropped, and Kazna crew completely losing that brawl. Their Mouse were not in that fight whatsoever while it was all happening.
Must say, Quiet is playing really well because he's there in some crucial moments and striking the significant kills, taking out the targets that are low HP and that can bother them on the long run. So this play that he did now, taking out Haiba, fading away and coming back full speed and just doing gangster style from the back, 3 shots, tack, 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 like that was really nice. And I would say EL Gaming took this ghost town really well deserved.
This one was dominating, like completely dominating. It was really strange to see the autoloaders trading off like that. 50B against the T57s. We generally see the Mouse going in there, and then the autoloaders try and do some shenanigans on the corners. Funny that you mentioned about Quiet, being really impressed with him. On speaking to the APAC casters, they were saying how Quiet is generally not a star player as such for EL Gaming, but he's Mr. Consistency. He's one of the guys you can always depend on to just constantly be there, doing exactly what you expect of him to do.
I was just looking at
damage.
the chances he was taking, and those were really smart decisions. Not something you can coordinate with the rest of the team. This is just a moment that you see as a player, and you take it yourself.
Yeah, so EL Gaming now leading Kazna crew 3-1. A result not a lot of us kind of expected here. We knew it would potentially be a difficult result. Real interested to see the damage done in that battle and the damage blocked, actually. The autoloaders did a significant amount. Hardliner blocked nothing, but he was able to do 3.3k damage there. Diplomat blocking 3.4. That's a huge amount of damage blocked. But yeah, I mean, damage dealt kind of average here.
Would really help to know which tank is which. I mean, we can guess.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a damage assist, but I'm pretty sure we were looking to have the tank name there because it helps us. And you got to try and remember what the tanks are. So I mean, 3.9. I mean, he's surely going to be in a heavy. I don't think
he was in the mouse.
He was in the mouse. So, Kazna crew, a bit of an uphill struggle here now. We're going to be going into Prokhorovka. It is a map that is Kazna crew have had some major failures on. As long as they avoid the 1-2 line.
If they push 1-2 line again, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, that's going to be me
Go
headset off, walking away. But again, they might just do this to throw us. And so, look, guys, we can actually play the 1-2 line. But it's something in the back of their head throughout the regular season. Kazna crew tried to push the 1-2 line at least 3 times, and at least 3 times they got wrecked. They fell into traps, or they got lured out, and the team was able to cap quickly while the rest of the team were stuck on the other side of the map. So interesting to see how this one goes. It could be won here by EL Gaming. They could take both rounds.
Really defensive lineup here by Kazna. 2 mouse tanks and STRV. Isne in tier 8 light LTTB. I mean, that's probably the bulkiest of them all, but he's the fastest. So that's the sole purpose why they have him, 100%. While on the other hand, EL Gaming has a really mobile setup.
Look what they're doing, Mojo.
Yeah, but they're defending.
Ah, yep, and they're taking it hyper aggressively as well.
Yes. So that's the point of Isne. He's spotting the middle to see the positions of the rest of the tanks.
So Isne gets the spots out on Fox, TS, M1 and Hardliner. Black is spotted as well. Now, Kazna crew with the defense on the 1-2 line, defensively, it is okay. It's generally when they're attacking, it has gone really, really bad for them.
This is really strange tactics, honestly, because if EL Gaming pressed the 2 cap, they will already be cut away from that side, but I guess Kazna wanted that because they positioned mouse along the side to play the hold down against these tanks that don't really have it. So they're trying to lower the amount of map that EL Gaming has under control, so they cannot rotate as much. But the big weakness is that LTTB. That side of the map is completely unprotected, and he can be soloed by any of these tanks. One tier 9 Bachat, if he knows, if he gets an info that he's alone, he can just go for him alone and cut away complete vision from them.
I was just going to say, if Isne gets himself spotted, that's going to be a huge problem
and
for Kazna.
And here we go, 1-2 blind push. Oh boy.
Okay, Haiba getting shot at now. Double tap there as Nice gets a connection into him as well. Nice gets his vision port now repaired. Hardliner getting a free shot into Diplomat. Another shot going into Diplomat. It's a crossfire there. Overwatch from the hill behind him. Rattlesnake now is being focused because there is the 1-2 line push. Rattlesnake and Fox having to run away. Rattlesnake's probably going to get dropped here, and then EL Gaming are going to be in a very bad situation because Kazna crew are going to have a very nice wraparound.
Rattlesnake is at the moment safe, but the problem is about the counter-attack. Like, if they want to
spotted. Isne's going to go down. One more shot and Isne's dead, and that flank is wide open.
But yeah, but there is 2 guys on that side of the map. The point is, if Kazna actually has an overmatch here, they will kill all the heavies and the mediums, and the game is done. Isne is now there, but Kazna knows what are they playing against.
Kaizu gets the kill on Diplomat finally. Diplomat now pushing over, and sorry, Kaizu not getting a kill on Diplomat. Diplomat now pushing over into Hardliner here. If he goes down, that's going to be a really strong position. Black is reloading at the moment. M1 gets dropped by Kaizu. EL Gaming now sitting on 4k HP. Kazna crew almost double, and this one looks to be easily Kazna crew taking this round, so it's going to be 3-2. And EL Gaming, well, they didn't really... It seemed to be they didn't expect a 1-2 push from Kazna on the defense.
It's a really risky thing that Kazna did. Actually, super high chance they took, and it could have gone wrong on so many ways, honestly. Like when these mediums were pushed, if they had strength in them to push on mouse tanks on the other side, they would probably lose that game, and that would be a disaster. But they came back in a bold way, so that's good for their morale here, I would say. But still, now they have to win attack on Prokhorovka, and this game is still not over, but it will be.
Haiba gets dropped in the middle there. I mean, it's not over 100% yet. Quiet is being focused at the moment. Black is on a reload. Quiet kind of stayed out the fight for a little bit there. He was up on the hill. And when Yizny got dropped, it could have been a potential win there. Quiet just kind of stops and says, shoot me. Black is going to get shot by Dares, actually. It's Kaizu picking up the multi-kill, so 4 kills for him. And Kazna crew go wild with that win.
At least a little happy.
Slightly delayed reaction there when it happens. But yeah, they're looking happy now, being able to get a win there. So back to 3-2 now. I expect this Prokhorovka to be a 1-1 map. It was a bit of a shame because had Yizny been dropped quicker, you might have seen EL Gaming move further over to that side and not be as exposed as they were.
It's not only that, like they had 2 mediums on that side of the map. That means that one of them was, of course, clipping the mouses on the middle, but that's not reliable damage. Also, he was far away from the fight because he then needs to reload to come join his tanks and do some damage. and Isne could have been pressed by one tank, as I said already. But they found out too late that Kazna is actually not doing some kind of trap in a corner when Isne was, which some teams often did. So if you come there alone with one budget or even with two, you just get annihilated by 2 or 3 tanks waiting there in bushes.
Yep, and the power of the 1-2 line as well is that you can drop back over into the 1 line and be able to defend that. So top damage there, Kaizu coming out with 4 kills as well, 3.1k in his bat chat. Stefan actually doing 2.7 STRV, strong player. Now actually it would normally be Nexus would normally be playing that, wouldn't he? Then Quiet 2.4 in the bat chat, Diplomat 2.2, nicely done there. Yizne, it's not going to do high damage, he's the LTTB, you wouldn't really expect that from him. M1 and Nice could have done a bit more, however, though. Not really much to fault them. They were just outplayed there by the Kazna wraparound. Nice done from Kazna on the 1-2 line, showing us they can do it, but only in defense.
We've seen this kind of spread that a lot of CAS team like to do, like EL Gaming did now, but the reaction time was at this moment not that well.
Yeah, definitely they can react to it much quicker. So Yizne once again in the LTTB, Kaizu taking out the Object 263. We saw Mailand playing that earlier on for Oops.
Object 263 is generally taken in attack because STRV needs to go to siege mode, it cannot shoot then and so on. But Object 263 can just go drive and shoot like a tank, just without the turret.
Yeah, it's one of the few maps that actually gets used on this one.
It's absolutely the only map.
I can't think of any other time I've saw it being used for anything else.
It's very specific because you can use it on the edges of the map. You can never play it on the center because it's easily penned on the sides, but frontal armor is brilliant, it's mobile, and you can then position it on 1-2 line or on the hills on 9-0 line.
Very aggressive defensive push here from EL Gaming, all going down the 7-8-9 line. Black spots out Yizne backs off. They're not going to see any more tanks come up into this area. I always kind of wonder about a push like this because it does leave base 1 quite exposed.
Well, it's a bit one-minded, but if you want to push one side and clear it, you need to do it super aggressive. They left M1 behind. He is in the bushes trying not to get spotted, so he is their fail-safe trick. If there is too huge cap pressure, he will just try to YOLO.
Are they going to go YOLO here? Are they going like a proper 0-line YOLO?
This is actually a normal tactic played by many teams. Actually, even Kazna played this. So you need to do it super aggressive, you need to go over the hill, you need to go below, yeah, you need to spot, and then you need to try to catch Vetso.
Vetso, good night, sweet prince, you are dead. Wolfpack coming in here from the back chats. We see 4 tanks of EL Gaming. They're going to do a drive-by on Vetso. Vetso shooting at Black. That's not what he wants to be shooting at the moment. They're going to carry on past him. Nice taking out Vetso. Stefan now getting focused at the moment. This drive-by is fantastic here from EL Gaming. They've got 2 kills for only 1 shot into Black.
This is fantastic, but this is so horrible because I can tell you, I remember Kazna playing this exact tactic that EL Gaming did now, just with different tanks. Isne pushing there with RU and the rest of the team over the hill and winning it. So they actually exposed themselves to something they played a while ago themselves.
That was super decisive there. That was really nicely played. Diplomat taking a couple of shots there in the middle, and now EL Gaming have complete control over the right-hand rails. They can choose to push all top, middle. Haiba now peeking in the middle, taking shots. That is a very bold thing to be doing. Kazna crew pretty much lost all their vision here, and now they have to worry about where the tanks from EL Gaming are going to pop up or where they're going to rush next, because once these tanks have reloaded, Fox TS currently reloading at the moment, Quiet reloading at the moment, they're just going to push on to somebody else and eliminate them.
This is a really dire situation for Kazna. 2 tanks down, barely notched the HP out of the EL Gaming guys, and they are gathering again. They have no mercy whatsoever.
EL Gaming back to the Zerg tactics. They're just going to rush in, take out Haiba now. Autoloader's just flipping out into it. Haiba is going to go down. At the same time, Diplomat goes down. There is 3 tanks remaining of Kazna crew. Okay, they have HP, but EL Gaming have no interest in rushing them at the moment, or they might just carry on the push. They're going to wait till the reload, go right back in, or they're just going to rush with what they've got left. This is like EL Gaming of old against Kazna crew.
I can tell you one thing, like they also played Prokhorovka there, and they're losing against the same team because applying similar stuff. Like they're spread out all over the map, trying to play map control against a team that likes to play group pushes to like scout out certain area, then push with a high number of tanks and play aggressive. Oh. And they play it well. The Zerg is really well done when EL Gaming does it. The only problem is if they meet really higher skilled team, like I remember they tried to play the same in the finals against Hellraiser, and I can tell you it didn't go that well.
Hellraisers, yeah, they just outplayed them. But I mean, this is brilliant from Real Gaming. The gathering up of the tanks on that zero line, the push over, it is always something that it worked out completely in their favour. They got the drop on Vetzel. Vetzel stopped to shoot the light. Stefan was on the rails trying to shoot back. He went down straight away as well. That's 2 back chats down, 2 primary damage dealers down for
Kazna, this is disaster. This is not only that the game is completely out of their hands now and they have to play for...
Everything's on the back foot now, yeah.
Tiebreaker. This is the moment when they actually can fall out from the tournament, because if they lose this, the next opponent will be NSS. And we've seen NSS how they play, and EL Gaming are little babies compared to what NSS showed.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I mean, who's going to be your next opponent? If you had the choice, do you want to play against, well, Elevate or Team Efficiency, or do you want to play against NSS? You'd be like, not NSS, please. Because NSS have looked super, like the big three Russian teams have looked super strong. Like, it's definitely going to be one of those 3 more likely in the grand final, the finals.
That's a long way away from here. We will see, but we can say definitely NSS is someone you want to avoid. And Kazna at the moment is looking really shaky. It doesn't look like very coordinated. Even the tactics they're using at the moment are kind of, I would say, even obsolete.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, Kazna crew in a way sometimes, like Ding, we're not the most adaptive team sometimes, so we're a bit slow to adapt to changing metas or new tactics. Nice, not surprised coming out on top there. 3k, 3 kills as well, 3k damage. Kaizu did do a lot of damage in the 263 before he went down, 2.1, but I mean, this was just a steamroll here from EL Gaming, to be honest. Look at this, Vetzel only got 1 shot out. Stefan didn't even land a shot when he went down.
He got annihilated.
Diplomat only got 1 shot out before he went down. I mean, they were absolutely wrecked by the
second
YOLO
page
train.
is a way to the disaster, definitely. 5 tanks doing absolutely almost nothing, and we are on mines.
Mines here. Artillery on artillery. We might get some blind shots going out because there is only really 2 places the defensive artillery can be. Rhine Panzer there for Kazna crew. We know that's going to quickly do the climb. It has the ability to do that really fast. But it's a flexible lineup here from EL Gaming as well. Kazna crew themselves have a fairly flexible lineup, but they could get bogged down with the double mouse here. Kazna crew are going to be attacking. It's going to be EL Gaming defending from the blue. And well, Kazna crew need to win 3 straight matches now.
And it's match point. Surprising, I don't see any light from it. I mean, Kaizu actually plays it, so he tries to spot the blue, of course, and to see if someone is climbing on the mountain. But look at this aggressive and surprising push immediately by EL Gaming.
EL Gaming taking the middle hill. They only take 2 damaging shots, and Kaizu is dead unless he can get out of there quickly.
He needs to drop down any way he can.
Looks like he made it. It looks
Nice
like he
play.
made it safely.
Nice and important play.
Oof. Artillery shot coming in quiet, and he's on fire. Look at that damage just ticking away. He is stunned. He is going to get himself back into safety, and that was a hell of a shot there from Izne.
A good Izne. When it's needed, he connects. Now there will be a counter-attack by Kazna, who have some heavier tanks like 2 mouses, and they will try to pressure them while they're still in reload and a lower number of shells because they were chasing on Kaiser.
No TDs here really for EL Gaming as well to counter this mouse push into the middle. Haiba's going to pick out shots into M1. Kazna crew going to go dominant here on the hill, try and regain control as the mouses are going to act as a blockade to take out damage. Nice is going to try and clip out into the offloaders. Look at this artillery stun coming in here on the arties as well. Diplomat actually being focused. He might get dropped here. 141 health left on him. Hardliner, however, is being focused for EL Gaming. He gets dropped. Kazna crew taking first blood here.
It's just too much of armor and HP on one spot, and Kazna is actually taking them a bit, but Durz is falling on low HP. I think Bachats are coming out to the reload from the EL Gaming very soon, and this might really go both ways at the moment.
Fox TS with a big shot there onto the double mouse. It stuns both of them, which means then Haiba is dropped. Vetzel is now being focused at the moment. EL Gaming are taking control of this one, Mojo. It's all going to be what can Yizny actually do if he really needs to make the shot right now.
It doesn't matter.
Needs to take out these back chats as
It
well.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I think it's completely lost. It's a 1200 HP difference for EL Gaming here. They do have the positions like it would be a miracle. Kaizu is a single shooter light. It's an artist, so only Stefan and Vetzel are any significant damage dealers. Once they fall, it's GG.
Black gets the kill there on Stefan. Nice gets the kill on Vetso. There's only Kaizu and Gisny left. EL Gaming are going to take this one from Kazna Crew 5-2. There is nothing left that these two tanks can do. Black still has plenty of shots. M1 has the HP to be able to bully Kaizu out of the way. Fox TS still has his artillery, and all the predictions for this one just went out the window. And I would say that's our first upset of the tournament.
Well, it was a 5-2, but for a completely different team. It does look like EL Gaming definitely has a key to unlock any possibilities that Kazna can show.
We said it when Kazna were playing Yato. Daki was saying they do not look convincing here. They look rocky. They look, they look a bit rough around the edges. I was asking, do you think it's going to be a big thing that not having Nexus? They've played with him all season. Kaizu's going to come in. He has to, take his place and do it for him. Gisny's going to go down here, and this is it. EL Gaming 5-2.
Nexus actually would play, I think Kaizu would replace Vetso.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just the team dynamic that they were training for up until this moment is now not there.
It's not only that, even some of the steady performance they had, the players like Stefan, who is supposed to be one of the best damage dealers in European server, he completely played well on Ghost Town, if you remember.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah,
After that,